everyone! Kung bago lang po kayo sa channel natin, my name is Christine from these Succulent Middies, and today po, ang pag-uusapan natin is kung paano natin i-repot at care tips ang mga succulents na natatanggap natin from the mail, whether they are sent bare root, like this, yung meron pang konting soil, or simply cuttings like this, at kung paano po sila alagaan pagkatapos ng pagre-repot. I'm not gonna show you how to repot every single one, pero I'm gonna show you enough for general care tips para alam nyo po exactly yung gagawin para hindi po kayo mamatayan ng mga succulents nyo that you received from the mail. Kasi medyo iba po yung care tips ng mga succulents na binibili lang natin na readily potted na tapos rinirepot lang compared to succulents that we actually received from the mail and nasa box po sila for a few days. So stay tuned. So before we start repotting guys, gusto ko po i-share sa inyo yung soil mix ko. This is simply a soil mix that I buy pre-mix na. It is called Sunshine Mix Aggregate Plus. It is very well draining, containing peat, perlite, bark, at saka regular soil. Ngayon, kung hindi po to available sa mga stores nyo, you could simply buy any brand of potting mix and mix it with perlite, 1:1 ratio, or kung gumagamit po kayo ng terracotta pots, you could also get away with about 40% perlite or pumice. Tapos, yung pong potting mix nyo, i-mix nyo sa kanya. Alam ko po, most of you guys there in Philippines use about 70% pumice sa mga potting mix nyo. So, you know, it's all up to you, whatever works for you, but this is what works for me. And like I said, ang weather ko po dito, kung nasan ako, is exactly the same as the lowlands of the Philippines. Example, like Manila. Parehong-pareho lang po. So, this mix works really well for me. We will start po with my Echeveria imbricatus over here that I received bare root from the mail. Meron pa po siya actually konting soil when I received it, so I simply washed the roots, binanlawan ko, tinanggal ko lahat, being careful not to break too much of the roots. Tapos po, magtitrim rin po tayo ng roots mamaya. I will show you exactly how I do it. Pagkatapos po, here are the two pots that I will be using para i-plant ang mga imbricatus natin. In the bottom of each pot, meron lang po akong mesh tapes that you can buy at any of your local hardware stores. And this helps po kasi keep the soil inside the pot para walang masyadong soil loss pag naglalagay tayo ng soil at saka nagdidilig. And this one, I simply filled up with soil. So here po yung mga succulents na nakuha ko that I received bare root. Dininis ko na po yung roots niya. I washed off as much of the old soil as I possibly could. And same with these sempervivums over here. Diba? Ang dami niyang roots. So ang ginagawa ko po pag ganyan karami yung roots niya is I don't like to keep all the roots. I like to trim off the old hair roots which are probably dead anyway. And this actually helps generate new root growth para sa mga succulents natin. Ngayon, there are some people that suggest to cut off all those old roots to help generate new root growth. Pero ayaw nyo pong gawin yun kasi this would basically become a new succulent cutting, and obviously, it's gonna take a lot longer for it po to recover kung kailangan po niyang mag-grow ng a whole new set of roots. So, magtitrim lang po talaga tayo ng mga hair roots niya dito, konti lang. Pagkatapos, that will callus up in a few days. And the sooner it calluses up and the sooner it recovers, the sooner we could also water our succulents that we have just potted kesa sa maghintay po tayo ng sobrang tagal kasi we cut off all the old roots. Tapos, basically, almost half of the plant will be dried off by then. So, do not cut po all the old roots. Mag-cut lang po kayo ng konti. Bali, you trim lang po. Like so. Trim nyo lang po siya ng ganyan. Para lang malinis tignan and it gets rid of those old hair roots na most likely is patay na from the stress of traveling anyway. Yung mga medyo dry na, you could actually feel it as you cut the roots like so. Pagkatapos po niyan, hahayaan nyo lang po silang mag-callus for about 4 to 7 days. And then, pwede nyo na po silang diligan. Ngayon, kung hindi naman po masyadong nahihirapan yung succulent nyo, you could hold off some more on watering. Tapos, kung para po makasigurado kayo, kung gusto nyo, ako medyo sigurista, and most of the time, nakakalimutan ko, actually, siguro i-water ko to after 2 weeks. Pero in a week, there should be new root growth there already. Pero 2 weeks para lang sigurado. Ayan, di ba? Linis na din tignan, maganda na siyang ipot. It will be a lot easier. And we don't cause so much stress to succulents by not cutting off all of those old roots. These roots left over now will grow new hair roots again like the ones that we cut off. At saka, mas mabilis po siyang makakapag-recover kaysa sa tinanggal ko lahat ng old roots. So all roots have been trimmed, and what you want to do po after doing that is you want to remove any of the bottom leaves na completely nag-dry na po, like ganyan. Talagang ginamit na niya lahat ng water dun sa leaves niya, ininom na niya lahat, and you remove as much of those as you can kasi the plant no longer has use for it. Ngayon, kung nakakita po kayo ng leaves na medyo nag-dry na dito, nakikita nyo, it dries from here. Tapos, pero merong pang tubig dito sa baba na ganyan. Huwag nyo na po munang tanggalin because the plant is not done using up the water that are reserved in those leaves. Kasi pag tinanggal nyo po lahat ng leaves na to na alam nyong hindi na maganda, mamamatay rin. Pag tinanggal nyo, it's gonna go to the next most bottom leaf na healthy pa rin and start drinking off of that. So, hayaan nyo lang po muna itong mga to na gamitan ng plant lahat ng water na nandun habang nag-grow po siya ng new roots, and then later, pag completely dry na po siya, pwede nyo na po siyang tanggalin. But just leave it alone for now. So now, repotting time guys. Ito na yung soil natin. Ready na siya. And I am going to place our succulent that we trimmed the roots off of dito sa soil. This is a little bit complicated kasi nga it grew at a slant kung saan man siya galing. Tapos may baby siya dito and we don't want to disturb those too much. So, i-place nyo lang ng ganyan. That is the simplicity of trimming the roots. Hindi po masyadong mahirap i-place pag nagpa-plant tayo. So, ganyan lang. Nakikita nyo siya. It's nice and snug. And then, I simply add just a little bit of soil right here. Ayoko masyadong pakialaman. Just a little bit of soil to bury that stem with the roots. Being careful na hindi matabunan yung mga baby. Ito simple lang eh. It's simply sticking it in the soil and center it. Pero ito, medyo mahirap ng konti. You want to kind of pack the soil around that stem and those roots to hold the succulent in place. Pero ayaw nyong masyadong mag-push down, nasisikip yung soil because you want to give those new roots a chance to spread into the soil itself. So, ganyan lang. Careful po tayo dun sa mga babies nila. Alam ko pag may babies, it makes repotting a little bit more complicated than usual. Pero there's always a way. Trimming the roots actually makes it a little bit easier to place them into the pot with soil natin. And then mag-a-add pa ako ng medyo konting soil pa doon kasi medyo mababa. I don't want water to pool in there pag nagdidilig na po tayo ng succulent natin. And just add a little bit more over here kasi nandito yung matigas na stem. And there you go. Our Echeveria imbricatus bare root that we received from the mail is repotted. So, pag bago po sa lang plant na ganito, nag-trim po tayo ng roots. So, that means we actually made a cut wound on the plant itself. You want to wait at least 1 to 2 weeks po bago nyo dalagan ang mga succulents nyo na plant nyo ng ganito because you want those roots to have a chance to callus pagkatapos actually grow new roots. Ngayon, tapos pag dinalagan na po natin, konti lang, just enough to wet a little bit of the roots. Hindi po masyadong marami. Kino-konti-konti lang natin and then over time, pwede nyo na pong dagdagan. Ngayon, sa imbricata, of all the succulents I have ever taken care of, guys, ito po ang pinakamahirap sanayan at i-acclimate sa bagong lugar. So, be very, very careful with the watering. Huwag nyo muna po silang i-deep water. And always watch out for the stems kung completely healthy sila. Remember, as long as your stems are not showing any signs of rot, walang nagda-dark or mushy, yung mga leaves niya ganyan, hindi po black sa ends, it means that it is completely healthy. Pag bagong repot pa lang po, make sure to keep it in a bright shaded area until the time na dinidiligan nyo na po sila at alam nyo na tumatanggap na po ng water ang mga leaves nila by simply feeling it from the top and the bottom. Pag tumigas na po sila, kung nanlalambot nung winoter nyo, tapos 2 days after watering or the day after, tumigas na po yung leaves, it means that the plant is now receiving water. When you get to that point, pwede nyo na po silang bigyan starting 2 hours morning sun, and then every 3 to 4 days, pwede nyo pong dagdagan ng another 2 hours until completely masanay na po sila sa sunlight. This will help prevent sunburn sa mga succulents nyo. So, be very sure not to give them direct sunlight until tumatanggap na po sila, yung leaves nila, ng tubig. You can give it indirect sunlight or even filtered sunlight kung may shade cloth po kayo. But, anyways, guys, sana po nakatulong tong video na to. This is how you take care of succulents that you receive from the mail, bare root, and, hopefully po, pabuhay ang mga rose cabbage nyo, ang inyong mga echeveria imbricata, because I know they are one of the hardest succulents to acclimate in a tropical weather. If you have any questions, please comment down below. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I will see you on the next one. Maraming salamat po.